So we've now got this machine fully assembled and we're ready to start using the machine. As I explained earlier, the machine can sit in the cradle when not in use, and you need to pull out the locking pin before you lift the machine out of the cradle. Okay. Just a few quick words about the machine itself before we do a lift. The machine is battery operated. Inside the main cabinet you'll see the machine battery, the vacuum pumps, battery charger and various other components. There's no real need for you to go inside this cabinet, and that can be kept locked, and if the machine cabinet is locked and the machine stored upright in its cradle, it is a fairly watertight enclosure. If you lay the machine down at all and it rains, water will get inside the machine and cause you problems at some stage. When the machine arrives on site, the battery will be fully charged. When you've used it, you need to put it back on charge. It connects to a 110 volt supply, and when it's connected, there's a little LED at the back of the charger cabinet here that will go from red to orange and then finally to green, indicating that the battery is fully charged. It normally takes 6 to 8 hours to charge the battery, which we normally say put it on charge overnight. There's no reason to charge the machine during the day. It will work for the whole shift on the full battery. On the side here you'll see a water trap. Now this machine can work in the rain. You can lift wet panels, and if you can listen now, you can hear rain on the roof, but fortunately we're inside at the moment. But if you do lift wet panels, be sensible, wipe any excess moisture away from where the suction pads are located, but keep your eye on this water trap, because any water sucked into the system will accumulate in here. At the end of a working shift, when the machine's switched off, you can drain that water away by undoing this little plastic thumb screw, let the water drain out, and then putting that back in and tightening it up again. Just be careful, this is a plastic thread in a metal housing, so don't cross thread it and don't over tighten it. Also on this side of the machine you've got the main power on off switch, which is in this case it's a push and pull arrangement. You push the switch in to switch the machine off, and you pull it out to switch the machine off. Don't switch that on and off between panel lifts. Switch it on for the working session and leave it on, and only switch it off at the end of the working session when you put the machine on charge. Quickly on the other side of the machine you've got two things of note. You've got the battery voltmeter, gives you an indication of the charge on the battery. Now when that's switched on, that will register, and I'll show you that in a minute or two. This is the 12 volt machine, and this battery gauge will only ever go to around about 12.5 volts. Don't expect it to go the full range up to 16 volts, it will never do that. So the machine will sit around 12 to 12.5 volts. And the final thing is the vacuum control lever. When you come to put suction on, you'll slide that into the green zone, and that will then activate the suction pads. And when you want to release suction, you pull this pin out and slide it back into the red zone, and I'll show you that in a moment or two. So we're pretty much ready to go now. So we're going to switch the machine on, and then we're going to lift it out the cradle, and I'll stop this video now and we'll resume it when we're ready to lift.